3 signs you are clinging on to the wrong relationship and the wrong person. Now, it is really hard when you start to question your relationship and you start to really think about a potential future where you are not with this person because maybe you're not happy, your needs are not being met, it just doesn't feel right in your gut, whatever it may be. And naturally, all of our brains are wired for familiarity, so your brain isn't going to tell you to hop, skip and jump out of this relationship. But when your gut is really telling you something's off, it's hard to ignore it. And it can be extremely emotionally and mentally draining to have this little voice that says, is this right? Is this what you want? Is this as good as it can really be and as healthy as it can really be? And if these 3 next signs are feeling especially prevalent to you, then it's highly likely you are clinging on to the wrong person. Number 1. When you are trying to think of the good about this person and the relationship, you go back into the past or you jump forward into potential future. You focus on who they once were or who they could be, but not who they are and what they're showing you now. Now, this is one of the most unhealthy things we can do in a relationship because we waste so much time not living in the present when we're doing this. And the present is often where a lot of the facts are. The future, there's no facts there. That is potential. That is what ifs. That is could be's because none of us have a crystal ball. And the past is gone. And although we can use the past to build a picture of our present, people can change. Relationships can change. And living in the past is not a healthy place to live, especially if the present is like night and day from what things once were. This often means that we're excusing bad behaviour, avoiding what we're feeling in the present moment, like disappointment or hurt or anger or sadness. And all the time we're avoiding those feelings, we're not doing anything about it. We're not moving forward. We're not making decisions. And without doing that, nothing is going to change. Number 2, you feel that this is a one-sided team and that you are banging on a door that is just not opening. You feel you're putting in all the effort, you feel you're really, really trying, facilitating healthy conversations, putting in the work, doing all the things that you would want this person to do for you or for the relationship. But nothing seems to be changing. And the problem with this is that quite often in relationships, we think we can over-love someone into loving us, over-respect someone into respecting us, over-care for someone into caring for us, over-communicate to someone hoping that they will then healthily communicate to you. And this is just not the case. You can fill your end, your half of the cup, all you want. But if this person is not choosing to lift up the bucket and pour in too, how long are you going to do that for? How long and what toll is that going to take on you, consistently knocking on that door, consistently pouring into that cup, and the other half of your team is not doing it? It takes a huge toll on your self-worth. And the reality is, doing the same thing over and over again but expecting a different result from a different person is wild. So at some point we have to stop and pause and say, I've done all I can do. I've given all I can give. And of course, everyone's timeline for that is going to be different. Number 3. You feel emotionally disconnected and lonely with this person. Now, I always say to my clients, you can feel more lonely in a relationship than out of one. And if you don't feel connected to this person, supported to this person, listened to by this person, it's highly likely you will start to feel extremely emotionally neglected and therefore lonely in this relationship. Now, can this be worked on? Yes. If you have attempted to do so X amount of times and nothing is changing, we really have to look at this. Everybody deserves to feel emotionally fulfilled in their relationships. Everybody deserves to feel heard, listened to, supported, respected, championed. And if that isn't happening in your relationship and hasn't for a substantial amount of time with no view on change anytime soon, then we really have to look at how healthy this relationship and what it is you're actually clinging on to.